Hello, everybody, and welcome to a Toonkind at 12 frames per second. My name is RJ, and I'm here to strike fear into the hearts of everyone who loves this character. Fuck all y'all.
Fuck these six people in particular.
Yeah. And here to enable me, with a little bit of enabling in return,
Hey.
is
Hi.
wonderful, magnificent, very, very patient. I'm so grateful.
You're so valid. It's okay. Everything is fine. Hi, I'm Hex, and I'm the problem, as usual.
Well, I would claim at least 25% of the problem, seeing as I poked you about this originally.
You did poke me about this, and then I chin handsed at you, and then you posed on a piano, and now here we are.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I just want to point out the content warnings.
Mm-hmm.
Might be mindful. Make sure you're aware. Things are going to happen. Um, yeah. So, Raph in his office doing paperwork. Because that's like 60% of 80% of a lawyer's job is just paperwork.
It's
Um,
yep. Mm-hmm.
uh, he admittedly his paperwork is slightly different in that fucking blind, so his is all in braille.
Yeah.
Um,
How does one
so
do? You know what? That's not important for this FPS, but my immediate thought was, how does one do braille paperwork?
you can get a special typewriter, I think.
Oh,
I'd have to double check it. It's been a while since I looked into these resources because nowadays it's all computers.
it is.
But yes, we're getting off to Reddit.
Yeah.
So doing paperwork.
Yep.
Doing paperwork fucking is not expecting any clients this evening.
Or any company this evening.
Yeah, that's true. Memoir is in Halloween Town.
Yep.
Um,
Which is
or
why,
the barn, one of the two.
yeah, just it's Memoir is off doing his own thing at the moment, and that's okay.
We're in quiet little Fremore Town where fuck all happens usually.
Usually fuck all happens. Yeah. Hey, Raph, you want to just, like, really quickly roll me a Persepi?
I can roll you a Persepi. Let's go red.
Where the hell is my dice box? There it is.
That's a 4, so that's actually a 10, so that's 25? Oh,
Fuck!
hang on. 26. I forgot I get a d4 on these.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so that's a 4, so that's actually a 10, so it's 26.
Oh, right. I was like, what? Oh, yeah, you have the thing that you, like, always...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Reliable talent, my beloved.
Yeah,
Gonna be coming in clutch.
Yeah. So the good news here, yeah, you do hear, because they don't have stealth and they're not really trying to be stealth, because, yep, those are footsteps, striding with purpose towards your office, like, and I'm assuming, like, this, does he share, like, he shares, like, a space, or is it just his own office, like?
So the building is 2 stories. On the lower floor is the actual office. Is the office layout itself. And as you walk in, there's like a little reception lounge area with some chair, some
Mm-hmm.
sofas and like a table with some magazines. It's just a typical reception area room.
Yeah.
And then there's a door leading to Raph's office. There's a door leading to what used to be the spare office, is now Memoir's office, and there's another door labeled staff only, and down that door is a little kitchenette area
Okay.
for and the stairs to upstairs.
Okay, cool.
And upstairs is Raph's actual apartment.
Okay, cool. Cool.
So he's currently working in his office on the first floor.
Okay, cool.
The ground floor for everyone who's not American like me.
Okay, cool. So, So he would know then, what is he would know the sounds of Memoir entering, or Memoir's footsteps, or the footsteps of anybody entering, and then their trajectory and where they're going. So
Yeah.
you very easily pick up the door opening. Actually, no, you don't pick up the door opening. You just hear footsteps. I thought about it for a second. I'm like, no, yeah, there's just footsteps strolling towards your office.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's probably a sleight of hand.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking wait, why am I trying to do this in my head?
We have the magic. Yeah, 21.
Yeah, that's that.
Cool.
Is that be the passive perception of this motherfucker?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Then the motherfucker does not hear the sound of Raph pulling out his fountain falchion from under his desk.
Cool. Well, he's delighted to then probably hear the footsteps pause outside the door, and then a very polite, knock. Just a simple, knock, knock, knock.
He will stand up and fountain falchion slipped behind him kind of very casually, so it's not easily seen, under a long jacket that he picked up after seeing Memoir's long jacket and going, fuck, that's such a kind of a look.
Nice.
Goes and opens the door.
Okay. So, standing there, just casual, ease. You could almost argue parade rest, for military folk. There's somebody, I'm trying to figure out how to describe it for Raph, because he can see right now, right? He's got the bandages on?
Yes, he's got his bandages on.
Okay.
I actually don't think their appearance would change very much, because the only difference his bandages make to normal vision is that they remove
the red. Yeah. So
everything kind of skews green.
Yeah. Which I guess would make this this is gonna be interesting, because that's a changeling. That's just straight up, they're not shifted. That's just a fucking changeling at your door, at parade rest. Hair is, in that, in a nice, very neat side shave. They're dressed very properly. And you note that you can see their eyes, which is the thing that most changelings you don't see. But yeah, you can see, the actual pupils and irises in the sclera. And they, once you open the door, just hands are in front where you can see them. And they just, Mr. Alejo. Glad to see you are in.
Might I have your name? It's rather unusual for a client to not book ahead.
Apologies, this is a bit of an unusual circumstance, but you may call me Mixoliand.
I have a question for you, Hex.
No.
Has Matthias met Memoir?
Yes, Matthias would have met Memoir.
Okay, cool. So there's a good chance that Raph would know about Matthias.
Possibly? That's more of a whirl question, but possibly. Oh, we're getting word of God.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
okay.
You know what? That's fair. Yeah, so yes.
So the name Oleand does ring a bell.
Yes.
It's hidden behind the bandages, but Raph is narrowing his eyes.
Mm-hmm.
He's suddenly absolutely very glad that the bandages cover the upper half of his face entirely.
Yeah.
So the end. Might I get a reason as to why you are here then?
Well, forgive me for intruding in such a manner, but I guess you could say that I am here for a little chat with you, Mr. Alejo. Am I going to be... What's the word I'm looking for? Am I to be resigned to standing outside of your office?
Well, if this is merely a chat, I don't see the need for that formal setting. Why don't you go and take a seat in the lounge?
Very well. And Oleand will turn on their heel and basically just it's a very like confident and purposeful stroll where they go and they will have a sit in on one of the chairs in the lounge area.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Hey, Olean, do you want to roll?
Mm-hmm.
It's supposed to be probably an investigation check.
Oh boy.
Because I imagine you gave an assessing look
yeah.
to the lawyer.
Yeah, okay. If it's investigation, this is
23. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, so Raphael is dressed primarily in shades of black and red and gold.
Mm-hmm.
A black button-up shirt under a red waistcoat with gold linings and lapels, and a pair of black slacks and black boots. The bandages are gold as well. Gold jewelry.
Yep.
And then the single outlier of this is a necklace with a piece of bottle green glass in it.
Okay.
And you've seen a certain crow's work. You can probably recognize it.
Probably, yes. And once, they sit, it's they sit there watching Raph to see, just observing and seeing what he kind of does. But for all intents and purposes, they are patiently waiting on the couch. And they don't comment on the necklace yet, but they do file that bit away for later.
The office door closes for a moment as Raph quickly turns to his desk. There's some actually no, there isn't. There isn't sound from inside the office. Olean's been around a while. Could probably put together that there is some kind of sound prevention charm or enchantment in the office itself to prevent
privacy.
People from being eavesdrop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Client privacy and all that. Yep.
Yeah. Client privilege. And then comes back out. moves to sit down on the opposite side.
Mm-hmm.
Rolls a hand. So.
Did you say it? I'm sorry.
He just said so,
Oh,
and then
so.
waited for
Okay.
Erlian to start.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
It's all good.
They sit up a little straighter in the chair, kind of recline back. Do forgive me for such an uninterrupted uninterrupted visit. As I stated, I am here mostly for a little chat. To check in, and, well, 1, to see after your health, and 2, to see after... and this is where the other bit comes in, because, yeah, I don't... Anyway, to see how, and now I forgot this is how it works when you trans your gender. Hang on. There it is. Okay. To see after Miss Beckford's well-being.
Okay. What's your passive insight?
Fuck. It's what, 10 plus,
10 plus your insight mod.
So 26?
Okay. That's the number to beat. That does not beat it. That is a 2, so it's a 10, which only makes that a 23.
Yep. Yep.
There is definitely a twitch there.
Mm-hmm.
But he very smoothly goes, "You seem to have the better of me. You speak as if we are acquainted, yet I do not recognize you."
My apologies, Mr. Alejo. I just find that, well, appearing as such is... It is easier for me to have civil conversations when I look as I do. And they... a hand kind of absently goes to the brooch on their waistcoat, like, at their throat. You probably remember what that is. Maybe?
No, yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
It's very aware of that particular symbol.
Yep.
After it stole his fucking kid.
Yeah. So they remain seated, but it's very much this appearance allows me, in what would otherwise allows me to operate in a civil manner. However, you would more recognize me as in this way. And there is the briefest, like, rustle of fabric as they shift, and shrink in their seat a little bit. They don't move otherwise. It's literally just like being scaled down a little bit.
Select transform.
Yeah, just you kind of select transform the changeling. And in one smooth motion, they also reach back and flip their hood up as something is they're clearly hiding whatever the fuck they naturally look like, probably for your sake, because that didn't look normal. And yeah, just sitting in front of you is the thrall. And if you would like to roll insight, you are welcome to.
I will happily roll insight. Raph has... How does it... Oh, that's how... Yeah, Raph has dark vision. I don't know if that would affect the hood thing.
No, that's magical.
Cool. Cool. Insight. That's a 5, so that's actually a 10,
Mm-hmm.
so 25.
Cool. That'll be enough. Basically, once they shift and show like who they are, even if they could probably tell like Raph knows who the fuck this is, they're still aware that like, you know, true form usually incites violence. So they are prepared for a like he can see them tense and basically be prepared to retaliate should he lash out. They are not actively being
Mm-hmm.
antagonistic or aggressive. It is purely a reactionary thing. So they're expecting him
Mm-hmm.
to get violent.
Well, I'll be disappointed then, because he simply pauses for a second to take transformation in and goes, interesting. Usually for changeling, it's the other way around.
People don't tend to question when you hide as something that changes form.
I suppose that's true. Not that you'd really be able to hide from my eyes anyway.
Oh? You get a head tilt.
He just smiles.
I want to say very well, keep your secrets, but they won't. Back to my earlier question, then, Mr. Alejo. I am here to ask after your health and Miss Beckford's.
Why do you think I would answer that question?
Well, it is only polite. I am here merely to chat.
This is true. However, you and I are not friends. We are not even acquaintances. Why would I give you such information freely when I have very little reason to disbelieve that you would use such to harm me and mine?
An exchange is what you're after, then, for information? I can give you my
Well,
word.
no, I'm.
Oh, go ahead.
He cuts them off and goes, well, no, I'd much rather you leave, honestly, but I suspect that's not on the table.
That that would be very unfortunate indeed, saying as well, if I had come here initially with any within if I had come here for the sole purpose to hurt you or harm you, or to even get information from you, Mr. Alejo, I very well would have.
And yet here you are asking questions.
Indeed. One might even argue I am trying to be civil.
We both know that civil is far from the least thing you can be.
True. But it is a courtesy that I am extending. And one that I am hoping you will return. But if you do not. And they kind of shrug a shoulder, and it's in the way that basically just says, well, I guess we can, see what happens from there.
We are conversing civilly, are we not? I haven't attacked you. Which I suppose is more than you could say for a lot of the conversations you've had, judging by your tensing.
That, you get the impression that they've quirked an eyebrow. You don't know how, because all you can see under the cloak is glowing eyes, but you get the impression that they've quirked a brow, like, huh. And they incline their head kind of in like an agreement. True, most people, when they realize who they are talking to, are quick to either flee or fight. But also, not attacking is Well, freeze is always still an option. But you
If
have...
I were frozen, I wouldn't be speaking.
Indeed. That's true. But you are also still hostile towards me in the moment, which I cannot fault. But that does make this civil conversation a little bit difficult.
Hostility and civility go rather hand in hand, I thought. If you're looking for amicability, then that is something I shall have to deny you. But civility is easy.
They can't quite argue that one. You get, like, it's... My microphone can't pick it up, but it's like a rush of wind, basically. And you get...
A little huff of laughter.
Yeah, you basically, like, you can interpret that as, a chuckle. And they kind of, like, roll a hand. Even so, I feel I might have begun this conversation a little presumptuous. Let me start over. I would just like to have a chat with you for the moment, Mr. Alejo. Between two people. Possibly to discuss certain events. And I would like it to be... What's the word I'm looking for? Motherfucker, this is a problem. When your character's charisma is fucking 17 and you have an 8.
Hold that!
And I would like it to be a polite one. True, amicable. You have already denied me amicability, so how about polite?
Politeness is doable.
Very well, then. And I do believe with polite conversation, usually there is some form of beverage served with it.
Oh, now you roll high. Jesus. That's a... Oh, dicks, what is that?
You've got the math bot.
Yeah, math bot.
32!
32. Fucking below 10s until it's that.
Yeah, fuck.
I mean, it makes sense, but fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. It beats passive insight.
It does beat their passive. Can I roll to insight?
If you'd like to roll to insight.
Because they that is a pointed thing they have just mentioned. Okay.
You would be looking for a response to that.
Yeah, no, they did not beat it, sadly.
Cool. Well, for the listening audience, Raph just very casually, Raph has been sitting kind of leaned forward, elbows on his knees, hands steeled in front of his face, just very casually, tensed the muscles in his back.
Mm-hmm.
To try and keep his hands from shaking.
Mm-hmm.
Because he has tremors in his hands normally from the nerve damage. But that's tense the back to cut back the fear part of that trembling.
Yep.
So it doesn't actually end up worsening much yet.
Yet.
Yet. And he let the comment is said, and he lets it simmer for a moment, and then goes, "Very well, I can make a beverage."
Seeing as I am rather rudely imposing the rules of hospitality on you at the moment, feel free to serve whatever you like.
I thank you for the permission. He stands and moves toward the staff-only door.
Mm-hmm.
Walks through it, closes it.
Yep.
Walks into the kitchenette.
Yep.
Has to brace himself on the counter for a bit.
Understandable.
Runs hands through his hair and starts making beverage.
Beverage.
And he's making coffee because fuck you.
Fuck you, Thrall.
Yep.
That's fair and valid. And Thrall's just sitting quietly in the fucking lounge.
Yep.
Fucking perched. Although, they would. Well, no, they don't have to roll this, because they're fucking real kind. Hey! So yeah, Raph makes beverage, comes back with coffee, and inexplicably, there is, basically, like, a tray set out, like, waiting for beverage, that has honey, there's sugar, various other accoutrements that you would want for whatever beverage. There's cream, there's, fucking, like, there's other things, like little magical spices and shit, just, like, it's this whole fucking, like, layout, and it is themed, you notice, specifically for coffee. They probably figured, like, he's gonna serve me coffee.
Not wasting the fucking good tea on you.
Of course not. Why would you? You get the shittiest coffee Raph can brew.
Unfortunately, Raph will not allow himself to keep shitty coffee, so it is actually good coffee, which is a shame.
Damn.
But it is just plain black.
Yeah, that's...
and his is plain black too.
Yeah.
And when he walks back on through, he puts the Thrall's cup, which is just plain white, on the table, about an arm's length away from the Thrall. So yeah, they have to reach over and grab it, and then sits back in his previous seat. Very specifically, not touching anything on the tray.
That's fair.
And not getting close enough for anything to be slipped into his drink.
That's fair. He sets it down. Thrall does indeed, like, they lean forward. They're already, like, perched on the chair, so they have to actually, like, lean.
Yeah.
And they take their cup, and they add a bit of, like, chocolate and sugar to their coffee. But not much else. And they do gesture towards the tray, with just, you take your coffee black then, I see.
I prefer not to pollute the taste.
They incline their head at that. I can respect such a distinguished palate. Not many can handle the bitter taste of coffee like this. And they sippy. Yes.
um, I had to fucking bite back and laugh there because I'm pretty sure that's the name of Raph's canon character's fucking theme.
Oh.
It's it's not taste, it's fragrance. The name of his theme is the fragrance of dark colored coffee, but it's fucking close enough. Maybe laugh. He just very very casually takes a sip of his coffee, totally not deriving amusement from from Olean having to fucking lean over to get their cup.
Yep.
And kind of gestures in a, well, beverages have been served. What did you wish to chat about?
Again, for the third time, I will ask after your health and that of Miss Beckford.
Much better after being freed from you.
They nod. She has taken up residence in Halloween Town. Well, not that I can blame her, but it does make inquiring after her well-being a little difficult.
I would imagine so.
But I am pleased to hear that she is doing well and has arguably recovered.
Quite.
Do I need to roll insight on Raph?
You can if you'd like.
I
will roll contesting deception.
Holy fuck.
Oh, whoa. That's either high or low. I'm not sure which it is.
That's high. That's I think that's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's how you math. That's a 31.
It could be. Nope. That's 5, so it's 10, so that's 23.
Yeah!
Yep. Very specifically allowing you to lead this conversation.
Mm-hmm. Which, fair. That's, yeah. They kind of sit back and seem to... They let the silence stretch for a moment as they sip the coffee. And they're observing him as it stretches, just kind of like seeing if it, seeing if he's gonna like twitch or crack a bit, basically.
He does not.
Cool.
He's very willing to sit and let this be.
Cool. Excellent. So they sit in silence for not a long moment, but longer than would probably be comfortable for most people. Just staring at each other from across the fucking table. And before Thrall seems to sigh and say, "Very well then. If you will not elaborate further on Miss Beckford, I suppose I will leave the conversation there. At least that topic of conversation.
I invite you to elaborate.
You get kind of a head tilt. Well, Miss Beckford is currently in possession of some very... Oh my god, cat, please. Miss Beckford is currently in possession of some... Well, currently in possession of the only known written knowledge on a subject from my archive. And I am interested in her well-being to ensure that it stays preserved.
She is more than a living archive. And you would do well to remember that.
I am well aware, hence why I am asking after her health.
Regardless, any right you had to obtaining this information from her, not that you had any to begin with, is long since ended.
They kind of incline their head a little bit, like, conceding that point, I guess. And, brain. My brain has died now, shit.
That's you. That's you.
One moment.
Do 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 do.
No, take her back. Sorry, my cat was clawing at the door.
It's so good. It's so good.
She's figured out how to hook her claws underneath and, like, dunk it, and it's... Anyway, fuck, sorry, that completely derailed my brain. Forfeited any right to Memoir's well-being, and they... Okay, there we go, yeah. They incline their head to, kind of agree with that, and is just, be that as it may, I still am keen to, not keen, be that as it may, it, I still would like, I still want her in good health to preserve that information, seeing as... And it's like a little bit of a hand wave of, like, because, you know, like, because, of course, seeing as she will not be returning to the archive anytime soon, I can imagine.
Most.
And seeing as I will not be permitted near Miss Beckford, this is the best that I can do at the moment. So, thank you for indulging me part of my question.
Tis what one does in polite conversation.
Indeed. And I have posed many questions towards you. Sip, sip. I feel it is only polite to then allow you to pose some towards me. If you should have any.
There will be 2 more. The 6th. Get access to the 7th. Why him?
Thrall tilts their head. I am afraid I do not understand what you mean.
I'm not especially involved with the group. I'm just a lawyer. But have heard some of their musings. What could you possibly want with Asclepius Ash? Because I do not believe that it is simple revenge.
Roll insight.
Happily! Oh, fuck.
Cool.
Oh, big money, no whammies. Big money, no whammies. Oh, the biggest of monies! Hell yes, gamer.
Okay.
Okay, well, even if he had rolled like shit, he would beat that. But he did not. He rolled the biggest.
Hey! Hey!
The biggest of monies. 35.
We love
the 22.
30 fucking 5. Absolutely incredible.
30 fucking. I can't wait to be rolling these numbers with decimals. It's gonna be so fucking funny.
God. Okay. So, with all of that, So, Raph says Asclepius Ash, and there is it is probably because of, how his, how he is able to see and perceive the world, that he's able to catch this, and, because it is such a small movement, it is such a subtle thing, but he says that, and Thrall's, their hands are folded neatly over one knee, when they are not sipping their coffee, and their hands flex into each other, just very briefly, just the tensest of, or the briefest of, tension, and the look, you aren't even sure how it's possible to get this across with just glowing eyes. There's probably some magic at play there. Or maybe it's just a sheer aura of, coming off of them. But you say that name, and there is very clearly the briefest spike of anger. And then it is smoothed down, and Thrall is business as usual. But they very clearly, something about Asclepius makes them furious. And it is specifically him. And...
Well, Raph was there at the end of...
He was! Yeah!
At the end of Hey Little Slipper!
Yep, so he saw... he saw all of that, and Thrall kind of just, you are aware of. I am sure then at this point you are aware of what I am planning, what I am striving to achieve.
I'm aware. I did not think it would hurt anyone at this point to hear it from your own mouth.
Why would I incriminate myself with a lawyer present, Mr. Alejo?
That does get a chuckle from him. You've already committed many crimes. But, unfortunately, something along the lines that you are thinking cannot be convicted on the potential. So, you would do yourself no harm incident.
And they kind of nod, like, it had been a bit of a rhetorical question, but they nod at that, like, okay, fine, fair. When following the orders of one's deity, Mr. Alejo, there something like this. Something like replacing erasure. A feat of that magnitude is not something that is done lightly. This is not a mere whim, like taking your daughter was. And that is, in fact, just a tiny little jab. This has been in motion for eons. And I have seen that cleric cut down what is essentially a deity in itself. And he has now stood himself against me. So therefore, I would like him taken care of and out of the way, so to speak, so that he would not stop my plans. And rolling off of that 35 insight, you can tell that is like, they do mean this. Like, they want him to not, like, they fully believe that he could be, something that would throw a pretty damn big wrench in their plans. But there's more to it. They're only giving you part of it.
Will you permit me a brief moment of rolls a hand trying to find a word and eventually settles on detective work.
They, make a go-ahead motion.
You are incredibly focused on Mr. Ash. You say he is a threat. A threat implies something to fear. However, you faced something rather curiously just a moment ago. You said he had cut down something of a god in itself. Now, I don't know what that means. I'm not a mage. I am a lawyer. But your aim is to replace a god. And no matter what, he will be the last. And there's just the slight tilt of the head. Just that infinitesimal little cant, that almost predator-like stillness. And he goes, I think you mean to use him. Because there is no way any mortal, guided by a deity or not, could completely destroy a deity, let alone the deity of destroying things. No, I think you mean to weaken it and then put it somewhere else.
Very astute.
And what better way to do that than with something that has already killed a god?
Very astute, Mr. Alejo.
It is my job to put facts together.
There is one minor little flaw in your logic. I do not intend to destroy erasure. I intend to replace it. And yes, weakening it is the key part. But then to replace it, you need to, for lack of a better description, you need to siphon it through a conduit that will then change it. And because of the nature of erasure, I require something a bit more in line with Inkwell as a whole. A simple real kind will not suffice.
I suppose that answers my question about the markings. I did wonder. It's rather on the nose.
They kind of, like, incline their head. I had another conduit lined up, but then, well, I was unaware of Mr. Ash's situation until recently, and he is a much better fit.
Because he is a cleric or because he is hidden?
You get the slight wrinkle of the eyes that hints at a smile. But they say nothing.
So possibly both. Well.
A little bit of revenge is... Well, I was mortal once.
Please don't say now I'm divine. I will actually throw up if you do.
Oh, absolutely not, Mr. Alejo. I am far from divine.
Fantastic.
I am not mortal, and I am not divine. I simply exist.
What a tortured state that must be.
In Articulo Mortis. Indeed it is.
I don't think you're using that term correctly. No, I'm fairly certain you're not using that term correctly.
Mm-hmm. Oop, that's not how you do that. Ow.
If you were in Articulo Mortis, then for one, you would not lie as much as you do.
They kind of quirk an eyebrow. Being accused of being accused a liar is a new one, Mr. Alejo. I do find that in fact that is something that I would say I find offense in, but I'm curious your reasoning.
And he just gives a very beatific smile and goes, "You called yourself my daughter's friend." We both know that's not true.
At the time of her captivity, she considered me a friend.
What she considered and what you said are two very different things, and we are not talking about the former, we are talking about the latter. Her words, in this instance, are hearsay. They are not what is being discussed.
Very well. Continue on with your initial point, then. If he had an initial point, I actually, it sounded like he was gonna continue on when he had said you wouldn't lie as much, so.
God, no, I have to think what the fuck he was gonna say. An articulo mortis has a very particular meaning in the legal field.
Do enlighten me, then, Mr. Alejo. They say, and you can, they already know full well, but, like, you know, we're already laying out and saying things, so go on. Explain.
It is particularly used in probate law, settling disputes of wills and whatnot. But this is where I see the term used more often. In regards to a dying declaration.
And who is to say that a dying declaration is not what is fueling me right now, Mr. Alejo?
This is no testimony. This is history's longest suicide note.
You say that as if I have any plans to die.
You say that as if you have plans to not.
I assure you, I intend to keep going as long as I am needed.
And once you have completed your task, will you still be needed then?
They shrug a shoulder. If I am, then very well. If I am not, very well. My entire existence at this point is solely to ensure that Ongham's will is done. And and I am so very close to seeing it finished. And they sit back in their chair.
It's a shame.
Oh?
You could have done so much more. But I suppose that choice was taken away from you. And for that, you have my sympathy.
I do not require your sympathy.
You have it nonetheless.
Hmm. Hmm. I don't think they say anything at the moment. I think they just kind of quietly sip their coffee. Though it's probably
Raph
empty.
will... Yeah. Raph will drink his, and
Mm.
then put the cup down for the first time now that his cup is empty, and go... So, have you anything else you wish to discuss, or is that the end of this little chat?
Hmm. There is now one more thing, Mr. Alejo. I have one final question for you.
He kind of sits back, lets one arm drop down below the edge of the table, kind of off the edge of the couch. The other is like on his lap, and goes, "What question might that be?"
They observe this posture, and it's just... Mr. Alejo, you may relax. You seem very convinced that I am going to attack you.
Tell me, does the honey on the table have any particular decoration?
Some people like honey in their coffee, Mr. Alejo.
That was an RJ question, not
Oh,
a...
no, sorry. It, yes.
What's he got on it?
It's, so it's, the one thing that, he would notice, is the honey is red.
Mm-hmm.
And It's
Well, he wouldn't notice that. He would see it as dark green.
Oh, he would. Well, then he would notice. Yeah. Well, he would notice. Oh, that honey's not normal honey colored. But
Yeah.
uh, so he would notice it's like a very like deep amber red, and it's got a flower on it. Like the little label is just labeled with some flowers, which you can roll nature.
Natur.
Natur.
Wissenschaften. What the fuck is your nature modifier? It's just a +1.
Damn tragic.
Actually, can I make an argument for survival here? For
Actually,
recognizing
yes.
plots.
Yes.
Thank God, I can add a D4 to this. That's good. Mathbot, come here. That plus that. 20. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. That is enough. Yeah, so the honey on the table does have a little label, and it, the flowers on it are rhododendrons. Which, Raph would know immediately. Rhododendrons are poisonous flowers.
Yeah. And he very casually gestures with the hand that's kind of resting against his thigh at the honey and goes, just by bringing that, I think it's safe to assume you know my history.
Thrall quirks an eyebrow. And I would say they're feigning a surprise, but you can tell, like, nothing in their posture changes. They just simply, like, they quirk an eyebrow, their head tilts, and they go, your history. It is simply, well, it is not simply honey, but it is a harmlet. It is a safe to consume honey.
Except for the fact that it attacks the nervous system. And I am almost certainly aware of my condition.
Your condition? And they seem to think, ah, yes, you have been the subject of a few unfortunate poisonings in the past, have you not?
I don't wear the bandages just for the fashion statement.
No, but there are other reasons that one can be blind. Mr. Alejo, there is sort of a saying in the Toon world, or maybe it is a law. I do believe you might be familiar with the rule of threes.
Roll deception for me really quick.
Roll deception?
Yep.
Okay, sure.
There's a reason for this, I promise.
That's a 25.
Oh my fuck.
What'd you get? What'd you get? What'd you get?
26.
Nice!
Cool. So, cool. That's up. That's fine. That's all fine and dandy. That's a little surprise tool that'll help me in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
There's no actual, visible effect for this. This is a purely mechanical thing at the moment. But yes, carry on.
It is the law of three. Third time's the charm. Spoken thrice, and it shall be, etc., etc.
I suppose it is very beneficial then that I do not take honey in my coffee.
Indeed. But also, there is another one. There is another saying, and that is, insanity is doing the same thing and hoping for different results. I would not poison your drinks if I were going to poison you, Mr. Alejo. You are far too careful for that kind of thing.
Fool me once.
And yet you were fooled twice.
Well, let's get this over with then. You don't even need to roll insight with this. You can see the way that he swallows.
That actually, Thrall does kind of raise an eyebrow. Like, a genuinely curious, and you see, like, their head kind of cock slightly to one side. More than normal. Oh? Resigning to your fate?
I suppose you could put it that way.
And how would you put it?
Try it and see.
Say that again, I didn't catch it.
He said try it and see.
Now I have to think here. Would they... And Thrall just very, like, they sit back, they kind of sigh. Very well, Mr. Alejo. I can respect a man who gets right to the point. Rolling. Fuck
I roll
me.
as well.
Fuck me. Okay. Cool.
Well, the number to beat is 15 for you. What's my number? What's my number here? What's my lucky number?
Well, they rolled a 17. So that's a 27.
Ouch.
Yeah. So, Raph, they've been sitting, hands on their knee, and when they sat back, their hands had slid to their lap. And when they had said, when they had finished talking, it was a very quick motion, one they have no doubt done countless times in the past. That dagger that small little knife that they keep on their thigh is immediately unsheathed and flung right at your chest.
Okay. Then my question to you is, does a dirty 20 hit?
Yes.
Cool. Simultaneous motions. Thrall whips the dagger at him, and he, having slipped the dagger out of his sleeve, hucks one at them.
Yep.
I think matching in the clavicle.
Yep. And just for shits and giggles, make me a con save. Bet that. Oh my fucking god!
That's so for the listening audience, Raph has a 9 in Constitution, which means he has a -1, and he just rolled a nat 1, which means he got a fucking 0 on that con save. But I need more d6s. So you're gonna hear the sound of dice in a minute. Hold on.
Fucking astounding.
There's one.
Damn.
There's one. I need to fucking count how many this is, because I think it went up. It's 7. That's 4. So that's 5, 6, 7.
I just love the cacophony.
Oh shit, and that one as well.
Yep, it's a cacophony and I love it.
Shit, one fell out the box. Okay.
Yep.
Those are all relatively. Next. So that's where's the 4? There we go. 2 plus what's your 3 plus that's 6 plus 5 plus 5 plus 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1. Well, that's fun. Take 31 points of piercing damage.
Ow, okay.
Because he gets sneak attack on that. Because that little deception roll I had you roll earlier, for the sake of listening audience, that little fun little thing that'll help me in a minute, that was insightful fighting.
Ah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna be rolling a lot of d6s. Yeah. So there we go. That's
incredible.
Take 31.
Take
31 points of piercing damage from that tiny fucking dagger.
That is a chunk. That's like actually a measurable chunk of health. Just okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Raph, you failed that con save. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. No. This is yeah.
Yeah. So you feel it. It's immediate. It is fucking immediate, especially with a nat 1. Yeah, you feel that shit start to take effect, and Thrall, like, they're almost pinned to the chair by the fucking knife. So they, as you know, this is all hitting, and I imagine Raph is probably like sinking to the floor. Which I didn't even roll damage for theirs. It doesn't fucking matter.
Do it anyway. It'll be fun.
It's paltry compared. Like,
is it just the dagger damage?
Yeah, but it's maxed, so it's 8 whole fucking damage.
8 whole damage. Oh my god.
Oh my god. And they like you see them grab the hilt, and that's not what people sound like when they're removing sharp things from their person. That's
a schlorp.
It's a schlorp. It's a very squishy sound, like
octopus candy.
Yeah.
Octopus candy.
yeah, it's not a good sound.
This bat is made of jello.
And they stand and stroll very confidently over to you. You have 5 minutes, Mr. Alejo. I suggest you use your time wisely. And consider this a message.
Want a message? Go fuck yourself. And then he drives his fountain falchion into your chest because he just rolled a fucking 20.
Hey! Go!
What is the damage dice for this?
Falchion should be a D8, yeah.
Oh god, this does. Oh fuck. This is not bash. This is regular D&D. So this is just the dice.
Yep.
Which is a shame because you got a fucking plus 13 on the damage modifier for this.
Right.
Fountain falchion, man. Don't fuck around. Ooh, those are good rolls. Holy.
Oh good. Good.
So that plus that again, and then there's that plus that again, and then so many 4s. Good Christ. 1.
We love to see it.
2. 3. And then it's that. Not 33, just 3. And then Christ. Again. And then the plus 3 on top.
Fuck!
That's a lot of damage!
Holy shit, hang on. You didn't, but I need to actually do some math here.
Not down, but very close.
Holy shit. Wow. Holy fuck.
How low?
They are... No. They are at, like, another hit, though. Like, 30 damage. That's it. Like, or 30 HP. That's all they've got left. Like, good goddamn.
Holy fuck.
Good God, Raph. So, you do that, and Thrall plants their foot and kicks him to the floor. And they say, and it's just very, their voice is starting to distort. And as, the falchion is just kind of embedded there, black blood is very clearly just kind of, it's looking like a crime scene in here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially because, he's gripping that fucking thing. So
Yeah.
if they kick him back, that's getting pulled out.
Yep, it is. So out it comes. And they, stagger forward and it's... Oh, you are very tenacious. Why are rogues always such a pain in my ass? Very well, Mr. Alejo. And you get hit. I don't think you're gonna fail that, yeah. Cause they basically, it's a con save, I'm sorry, you're gonna fail that. And so they kick him back, and then they don't have the strength to do it, so this doesn't deal damage. It's more just for the visual effect of they stomp on his chest and simultaneously cast Blight.
Woof.
So fucking suffer, I guess. You made them angry.
Roll the damage.
Yeah,
roll the
I
damage.
Am.
I think you'd have to severely high roll to knock him unconscious. You won't be able to kill him with this. You'd have to.
Ooh, yeah, no, they're not rolling great. Let me just really quickly get this counting. This plus let's see, that's 6. Yeah, no, they low rolled a bunch of this, so you're fine.
If I can put back all my other dice.
Yeah.
28. Okay.
Yeah, they low rolled a bunch of
that knocks him to exactly half health. That's really funny.
Hey, but they do that, and they lean in close. If he stabs them again, sure.
Yeah, he had the heroic final wind.
Yep.
And now he's just
on the
kind
floor,
of hazing, trying to stay conscious.
Yep, and they lean down. If you survive by some miracle, let Mr. Ash know I will not stop until I have him. And then there's a flash, and they are gone. And, well, Raph, what do you do?
He's very much fighting the encroaching black.
Mm-hmm.
And very very uncoordinated.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of fumbling, reaching up to try and grip his necklace with nerveless fingers. Just sends just sends throws open the door to his son and goes basically sends him the memory of the conversation and kind of finishes it with a I'm sorry.
Oh. Okay. All right.
And as he as the blackness kind of closes over, there is a flash of purple as he finally passes out.
Mm-hmm.
And a small cat black cat with purple stripes, dressed in a white shirt and a suit jacket and some slacks, appears, and eyes widen. This man is still alive.
Yep.
He is dying, but he's still alive. So she leans down and presses a hand against his chest, and reaches into a pocket and sprinkles a pinch of dirt from a very specific graveyard onto his forehead. And he exhales and goes still. And then she picks him up and vanishes in a flash of purple. And Memoir will receive a sending 10 minutes later from Asclepius saying, he is in the manor. He is alive. Unsteady, but alive.
He is alive.
He is alive.
They lost him for a moment there, but he's alive. Do you want a response?
If you have a response, I will happily read it out for the recording.
Yeah, Will can just pop in and say,
you know what?
voice.
Yeah, no. Let's have this invoice. Let's have this invoice.
Impromptu,
what's
get
the
in
response? Impromptu, get in here.
Yeah, hi, impromptu fucking cameo, because I'm sorry, I love you, but you can't send that kind of message and not immediately get the person who can teleport over to you. Because we have established that Memoir can transition walk.
Transition walks in just as the other two leave.
Yup.
Comes to that.
Yeah, he just fucking walks, like, he gets that message, and blind fucking panic, takes a backward step, winds up in the office, sees the black blood, red blood crime scene bullshit, sees his dad isn't there, and there's just terror. Sheer fucking hopeless terror for a minute as he just stands there. And then he gets the message from Asclepius. And for a minute, he doesn't respond to that sending. And then he will basically just give the equivalent of, you know, sending a thumbs up emoji in response as he's still just staring at this in numb silence. And, I'm not going to roll hammer space for this, then his umbrella just falls into his hand.
Yep.
As the fabric of it burns away.
Oh!
Ho ho ho. Ho ho.
And his eyes go solid gold.
Well.
And that's Memoir's response.
Thumbs up emoji, knife emoji, fucking.
Go crazy, ah. Go stupid, ah.
It's my cameo, bye!
Bye.
Bye!
Surprise cameo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Ref wakes up. That was, you know, that's a bit of a surprise. Didn't expect that, but hey. Third time kind of was the charm. It just didn't stick.
At least you didn't fall into a coma this time.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have said that was gonna kill me.
God damn it.
Yeah, there it is.
There it is.
I'm gonna get yelled at later.
We're both gonna get yelled at because I promised that we weren't gonna kill Raph.
Well, we didn't technically.
Technically,
we
he's
didn't.
still here.
Feign death just makes you appear dead. It doesn't actually kill you.
Exactly.
It's actually what saved his life, because if you're poisoned when feign death is cast on you, then the poison has no effect until after the spell ends, and the spell takes fucking an hour.
I was gonna say it
an
lasts minimum 1 hour. Yeah. So yeah, it's Thank you, Rosatai. We love you. I was wondering because I was like, I have a plan, but you know, we can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, I can cameo here.
You can cameo here, and it worked. But yeah, just fucking. Ta-da!
Ta-da! That's our little stabs you.
Fucking stabs you.
Well, thank you to everyone who listened to this.
Yep.
We've got to go get murdered now.
Yeah, we're gonna go get murdered. Bye to the recording.
Bye.